Hello, everybody. Um, I had sort of a flash of insight the other day, and I made a couple quick little TikTok videos about it, and I've been getting some good response. So I decided it was time to do a longer version of this for you. And the insight that I had is, I think, going to be really relevant going forward with the quarantine phase and the lockdown phases that we're all in all over the world. Um, we have a few months ahead of us where we have to handle being inside and dealing with ourselves, and maybe being dealing with being alone more than usual, or cooped up with people that are difficult to get along with sometimes more than usual. So I wanted to make this distinction for you. So the insight that I had was the difference between letting go and letting yourself go. And it's easy to do both when you're in an intense, reflective, sort of reset button kind of time that we're going through right now. So when you are letting go, it's a positive thing. So letting go requires some sort of feeling of surrender and some sort of peace. When you think a thought or you decide something that's related to a true letting go moment, you feel a sense of, oh, relief, peace, calmness in the body, mental relief, less judgment, less being hard on yourself or others. And it creates space in your life. And it's not easy to pinpoint what that means if you don't relate to it, but it will give you a feeling almost like there's suddenly room inside you where there wasn't before. And so there's room to breathe and room for new things to come in or new people to come in. So let's take a scenario that might be typical while you're at home quarantining. So nobody's forcing you to get up and get all dressed up. As long as you look presentable from here up, if you're working online for Zoom, nobody knows whether you're still in your pajama bottoms. Nobody can see your house. Are you still cleaning your house? Are you still maintaining certain discipline of self-care? Or are you letting it slide? So letting go might be something more like a person who is still stressed out about keeping the place in perfect order, and you're always pushing yourself to work, and maybe you're working longer and later hours because now we work online and there's this assumption that everybody's available 24/7, and you don't have this separation between my workplace and my home. It's all blurred. And so maybe maybe you're in this workaholic mode and you're not doing the same discipline of or rituals, sort of daily rituals that you would have before. Maybe the time you get up has changed. Maybe the way you make your breakfast has changed. Maybe you don't clean up after yourself, or you make sure you do. But all of us are going to be going through like renegotiating our lifestyle. So the difference between like letting go versus letting yourself go would be something like, letting go might be, you know what, it really doesn't matter. I can sleep in today. It's okay. The sky isn't going to fall. If I don't if I don't work an extra 2 hours, it's okay. I can do this tomorrow. If you feel stress to maintain like some sort of perfection in your daily routines, well, letting go might be, you know what, it's all right. I'm going to take the night off. It's okay. I'm going to let go of that. Maybe there's something else that you're stressing to maintain a certain image of or idea of, like, since we're talking about staying at home, I don't know, maybe somebody likes to have all their cushions puffed and in the right order, or they like to have their carpet vacuumed in the same direction, or they're doing something that, if they're really honest, they're doing it for how it looks to other people. That would be maybe something that they decide, you know what, I'm going to let go of that. That really doesn't serve me, that's not important. And then you get letting go is a powerful and wonderful thing, because you're like, that doesn't matter. That's not important. I've just lightened my load. I've lightened my anxiety. I've taken some pressure off myself. So that's a good thing. When it comes to letting go in terms of, let's say, people, relationships, work, co-workers, the all the energy you put into maintaining the people around you. Maybe you're letting go if you live with somebody, with your family or your spouse or your kids. Maybe there's something that, maybe your kids just love to scream. I don't know. Maybe they love to dance after supper time, and part of you is like, no, they shouldn't be doing that. They should be doing their homework and go to bed. And maybe that, you're struggling with your child because they just want to sing and dance instead of do their homework. Letting go would look like, you know what? Okay, let them dance. Okay, let them dance and sing for 10 minutes, and then we'll start homework. It doesn't matter. We're letting go. We're making things easier. We're not being so rigid or strict with ourselves about how things should look or should be or be perfect or be on time. It's allowing some ease. It allows people to be themselves, and it's also actually more realistic, because if that's all your kid wants to do and you're fighting with them every moment, then you're creating so much tension around the house and in your relationship. It doesn't have to be there. So that would be like a positive letting go, like, oh, well, whatever. We'll start homework 10 minutes later. Or, okay, so I'll do the dishes in the morning because I'm really feeling good right now after dinner. And I know I said I should get up and do my dishes all the time, right on time, but I'm really enjoying this cozy feeling I'm having of sitting on the couch after dinner and just watch my TV. So whatever, I can do the dishes tomorrow morning. That is letting go. That's great. That helps you just navigate day by day with more ease and less stress and judgment, less conflict, less rigidity. Letting go of yourself is another thing entirely. Letting go of yourself is when you give up on yourself, actually. It's a red flag for me of depression or the possibility of a downward spiral. Letting yourself go is more like, yeah, I'm not going to do the dishes tonight. Okay. The next day goes by, you look at the dishes, you feel sort of like, yeah, I should, but nah, why bother? Because, nobody here, nobody's going to see, who cares? It's just me, it doesn't matter. Okay. Then maybe day 3 and day 4 goes by, there's no dishes done, there's no motivation. Now you start to feel like sort of down on yourself, like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I clean my dishes? But yeah, but I have no energy, I don't want to. Yeah, it doesn't matter anyway. That's letting yourself go down a spiral. That's a dangerous thing. If you are temporarily lifting your own rules on yourself and you make some room and some ease, that's letting go. But if you start to feel like you're neglecting yourself and you don't pick up the ball the next day and say, okay, just like the dancing and homework example, letting yourself go in that case, let's say with a kid who's like, doesn't want to do their homework, they just want to dance and sing around the house. Letting yourself go would be like, they're not listening to me. Oh, well, fine, go ahead, do it. So you won't do your homework, so you'll be late on your homework then. And you see how different that is? Because now I'm coming from a place where I'm feeling powerless to change the situation. I couldn't control my kid. I feel powerless, and so now I'm giving up on myself, and I'm giving up on setting the boundary, and I'm giving up on. And it's okay if that's just temporary, right? Like, whatever, we all go through moods. If you're in a bad mood for a couple of days, so be it. But it's just a slippery slope if you start doing that too often and the longer it goes on. Because it's very easy to just start to go down that spiral of self-neglect. So, for example, if you don't vacuum, I always vacuum on Sunday. Well, I'm going to let that go. I'm not going to do it Sunday. It's okay. I'll do it this week. Okay, well, letting go is like, okay, so you vacuumed on Tuesday or Wednesday, no big deal. And then maybe you go back to your Sunday thing because it feels good to have the house clean, but you allowed yourself the leeway. But letting yourself go is when you're like, okay, I'm not going to vacuum on Sundays. I'm not going to vacuum this Sunday. I don't feel like it. Okay, and now we're already at next Sunday and you still haven't vacuumed. So now you're struggling with, well, do I do it this Sunday or don't I, because I do it on Sundays? Yeah, well, I didn't do it last week. So maybe, I'm just lazy. Like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I just keep to my vacuuming schedule? Why don't I want to clean my house? Yeah, but I don't. I'm just tired and who cares? It's this whole attitude of like, nah, nobody cares. Who cares? Because you're basically saying, I don't care about me. Nobody cares. And I don't care about me enough to do it. So it's just to watch for that line in yourself. If you are relaxing on your own rules and you're letting go, or you're allowing people to be themselves more, and you feel a sense of lightness or peace that comes from that, then you're on the right track. But if you feel like, oh, well, they never listen, so whatever, I'll just let that go. Well, that's not good, because now you're letting somebody talk over you and you're not feeling heard. That's not something you can let go of. That's not self-loving. So I wanted to just make this video to talk about that, so that you just start to watch yourself with your thoughts and see where you can let go and make a little bit of ease, and pay attention if you're having those other kind of self-destructive or dark thoughts, and reach out to somebody so that you don't go down that well of depression. You got to nip that quickly so that you don't create a whole new cycle where you're going to just feel worse and more isolated. So really, like, that's the first thing to watch for, that kind of thought process. If you catch yourself, I want you to do your best to reach out to a friend, or if it's a call center or somewhere online support, anywhere that you can call and say, I'm worried about myself. I think I'm having thoughts of depressing thoughts. I don't have any motivation to take care of myself, and I'm worried. And reach out and talk to somebody and try to turn that around. And if you do need help with that, you can reach out to me as well. I'm a good coach and a good listener. So you can reach me at river-rain.com. I hope this has been helpful. Have a good day.